I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Kansas City Chiefs. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This fielded at the 2. Fights loose. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
C.J. Anderson with it. Of course, a big part of the Rams' run to the Super Bowl last year. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. Third down here.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
Come get some. Come get some.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And this is Shepard on the catch. The numbers for Shepard in last week's game: 8 catches, 117 yards, and a touchdown.
And in doing preparation for the game, you notice where guys rank in the league in terms of statistical categories. He's 4th in the league in receiving yards. That caught my attention in a positive way.
Wilson will throw again. That's complete to his running back, Burkhead. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
The second down run for Burkhead. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. Has bred this big defensive tackle. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Melvin Gordon, the 2-time Pro Bowler. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. This will be caught by Brown. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A give to Burkhead on 1st down. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They go play action with Wilson. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Let's go.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
And that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Rashard Matthews, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Gordon. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, it's Gordon. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. 12 yards there, first down, Vikings.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and throw it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, the screen pass here to Cohen. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The kick by Lutz is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. And the ball is out. Burkhead lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Here's Watson. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
After the sack on 1st down, Watson, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Now Watson. Got him in. It's Brown. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. From the gun, here's Watson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Here's second and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again is Watson. Forced out to his left. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To the air yet again, Watson. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Larry Fitzgerald in the final seconds of the first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot down. Nope. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
Okay, all right, Brandon. Thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll get started with a rematch of last year's infamous double doink game in the NFC wildcard round. Chicago on the road this time, taking on Philadelphia. And it's the Bears who have the lead. Jermaine Kearse, a touchdown reception. From there, we're off to check out another game. And it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. Derek Carr leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's take the trip across the Atlantic, see what's happening over in London. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. 24-12, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half.
And got his man complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
So again, they run with Burkhead. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check, 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 check.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Khalil Mack, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Vikings to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. On 1st down, it's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Vikings. Marquise Brown, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away. Anderson loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson, and Walker has it. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here comes Cohen. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
He'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". 26. Get that ball. 29. Get that ball.
On 1st and 10, Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. Well, how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Watson now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards on the carry there, and that will be the final play. Of quarter number 3.
59's mark, 59's mark. Check, 59. Hey, defense, let go.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The tackle made by Ken Crawley. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's the backup Smith. Dancing to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. Even after more than a decade in the league, Smith still one to account for with his legs as he picks up a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by James Bradbury. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now it's Wilson. He finds Matthews. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Wilson, and Matthews makes the ground. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Out of the shotgun, a give to Burkhead. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. He gets it to Matthews, complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Wilson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Throwing is Wilson. And this is hauled in by Matthews. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Now it's Wilson. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And the Vikings hands team able to recover, and that should just about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Well, they'll run it again with Penny. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45.
Down. 18 Gator. 59. Mike to 59. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
Now Smith. They'll roll him out right. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about.
And this is caught at the 20.
Let's go.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Minnesota, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.